Burn the pizza.
Hey, everybody, welcome back. We have a pizza burning in the oven, so we're going to do this quick. This show is brought to you by Hexa Coffee. That's Hexe Coffee. And if you go to hexacoffee.com, use the promo code ELK, you get 10% off of your purchase. I know you drink coffee, which means you buy coffee. Why not buy this coffee? It's sourced beans from all over the world and brewed right there in the city of Chicago by beautiful people who we love. So if you love us, you're going to love this coffee.
Awesome.
That was pretty good, right?
That was great.
Who's on the show today?
Today on the show, we've got Jill and Silas, a charming couple living in Austin, friends of yours that used to be out here in LA. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of fun getting to know them, hearing what they're kind of keeping busy with these days, and just kind of shooting the shit. I had a lot of fun. I know you did. They did. And you will too.
Enjoy.
Thanks, Elkies. Have fun. One more time.
I thought it was great. You want to do another one? All right.
No, I trust you.
Yeah, I thought that was really good.
Recording in progress.
All
Yeah, all
right.
Wow.
Hey.
Hi. Okay, we're set up here.
Oh,
yeah.
whoa.
Wow. This is exciting.
This is great.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let me
mic'd up.
introduce you guys to Christine.
Hi.
Hi, Christine.
It's
So
nice
good to meet you
So-
finally.
I know.
Yeah, did we not meet you?
I don't think so. I think we kind of like.
I thought you guys did, but
think-
no?
I think we came in and out of town at the opposite times.
Yeah, when
'Cause-
did you guys leave LA? I was like, was that 2 years ago or like 4? Like,
Oh, that's
It was a couple years ago.
it was Valentine's Day,
Yeah.
2018.
No, it wasn't 2018.
Oh,
it was
2019.
2020.
2020.
like,
Really?
I
It's like
feel the same way with
1996,
time.
I think it was.
Yeah,
So-
it felt like a
2020.
lot of years passed when we were living in LA. So
A year before the pandemic.
No, that was in the pandemic.
Or right when the
was-
pandemic hit.
Oh, right when the pandemic hit.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
So it
the
was only a
start.
year ago or something.
You've been
Yeah.
gone for the whole pandemic.
We've been
Gone for the whole pandemic. That's
wow,
right.
maybe you leaving LA caused the pandemic. We don't know. We don't know for sure.
That sounds like
It could be.
science
That is
for
a,
Yeah.
a floating
I am-
theory.
Yeah.
It's a
antiviral.
theory. It's out there.
Yep.
It's on the fringe. It's fringe, but
Yeah.
it's a theory.
It's fringe, but the YouTubers
Yo.
they're starting to talk about me. Yeah.
Sometimes you got to be a little fringy.
Oh my gosh.
You're right.
So what
Totally.
what brought you guys to Austin?
Mostly what brought us away from LA, which
I
was
see.
that we hated Paul, and that's it.
It's like
No,
this town wasn't big enough for the three of you, huh?
Yeah, we were
No,
always
it
kind of
wasn't.
meeting in the streets, and tumbleweed would come by, and we'd do these shootouts
That's right.
and stuff, and it was clear that the town wasn't big enough for the two of us.
I see,
Right.
I see.
Yeah, I was getting too many stitches. He was too good of a sharpshooter.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
we just weren't really feeling it in LA. Even though we loved you guys, we had a great time, but we were just
Yeah.
looking for something
the
different.
jam era.
It was a beautiful
Yeah.
era, wasn't it?
That was
It was a
like,
beautiful
the
era.
only highlight of living.
Pretty much, yeah.
like actually was.
Yeah.
Well, you know about our crazy neighbor, right? When we were living in LA, did we ever talk to you about that?
I don't think
Oh.
so.
Yeah, so there was this man or creature who lived next door to us, and I mean, I should preface this by saying he probably had some mental issues.
Okay.
He was potentially on the spectrum, so I'm not going to shit all over him. But he was a person that asked us in like the first couple of days to make sure that our blinds were shut during the day.
Yeah, we had just moved in, so we didn't have like curtains or blinds or anything in our front windows, and he was like, I could see right in. We're like, just don't look then.
Yeah, what do you
Like,
mean?
shouldn't
No,
that bother
so weird.
me? Like, should that bother you guys more than the
Like,
voyeur?
what? So that was like the start of it, and then it just progressively got worse and worse. Like Ella she made us like a cute little tin can that she painted and put like a little succulent in that we had on our front porch, and he was like, I don't like all this stuff. Like, it's so arts and crafts out here. It was like literally this one little can.
Yeah, it was
with
like
a plant in
yeah.
it. And then we had an herb garden. We're like, what is he on about?
Was he your landlord or just your neighbor?
no,
he was just
just a neighbor.
An opinionated neighbor.
An opinion neighbor.
Sure.
Never come
Opinionated.
across. He was the male Karen. Honestly, like he
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
He told me one day, like we became on friendly terms. He told me one day that you notice that the airplanes are like flying over our house more recently? And I was like, no, but
No.
sure. And he's like, yeah, I called what is it? FAA or whatever.
Yeah.
I called them to ask what's going on with those flight paths. Cause I can't have them going over our house all the time. It was crazy.
Yeah, it got worse and worse. And then he was like stealthily taking photos of Silas and our
nude
garage workshop.
I was nude, but no, I wasn't nude.
He's like, well, you should have got those blinds. Hey, not my fault.
I told you.
guess so.
Wait, do you guys have Jill's mic is a little quiet. Do you guys have separate volume or you just got to get up on it? Yeah, turn Jill up a little bit.
I think you need to
I'm just so demure.
How is that?
That's good.
Is that better?
That's wonderful.
It's jazzy. That's
Perfect.
nice.
That's wonderful. Wow. So, but that wasn't the only thing you didn't like about LA. I mean,
that was it, and it was bad.
Wow.
No, I don't know. We just didn't really click with it. We wanted to do more outdoorsy stuff. We needed more space for, working on things, music things, woodworking and stuff like that. No, I don't do that stuff.
Yeah, my
Silas is
nudist
a
lifestyle. Yeah, I needed more space, to be nude in my house without somebody spying.
Some more square footage. I get that.
Yeah, I hear that. We
struggle of a crafter over there. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. We Christine moved here mid-pandemic, I guess right after you guys left.
Mm-hmm.
And
passing ships.
Exactly. But we're in Glendale and it's
nice.
decent. We like it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and we love our house. It's nice, it's cozy. It's a cool area. Like we can walk to, downtown Glendale. It's just a few blocks, which is kind of cool. Like
that's
awesome.
cute. It's a cute area.
Yeah. But we are eventually we want kids and to buy a house. I mean, we're not going to do that here, so.
No.
You definitely got to leave at some point.
Big incentive for us was we did want to buy a house. And I think one of the major motivators for that was just having such a shitty next door neighbor and feeling like we didn't have autonomy. Like we could be reported to our landlord for working in the garage or whatever. So there's just like a weird paranoia surrounding
Jill,
that.
your mic, now you're like in and out. I think your input or something is loose. Sorry.
Is it working?
Yeah, now it's good.
It says that it's working.
Were you getting that?
I heard it too.
Yeah. But I could still hear you through Silas's mic, but your mic was dropping out.
You're back though.
But anyway, you're back. You're back.
Yeah, micromanaging neighbors.
I'm sorry.
You don't want that.
But they were in
fine.
you guys were, was it like bungalows or what do you even call it? Because it wasn't like an apartment building, but it was like bungalows. So there's like
sounds promising.
4 or 5 or so little bungalows.
Promising.
It was a cute spot. I liked your guys' spot.
It was really awesome. Yeah, when we we were driving by and she saw the sign for it and we called. We rolled into LA and we looked at a couple apartments. One was in East. Oh yeah, there's noise there. One was in East LA, and we almost just continued driving through LA down to like San Diego or
Somewhere
something because
else.
the apartments we were seeing were so awful. So we came across this one. It was perfect. Basically like 2-bedroom for pretty cheap. But that was
In
before
Silver Lake.
Before we realized why that was a price drop. I think it was the next door neighbor.
I think it was the old man.
Got the nosy neighbor discount.
Where'd you came from Massachusetts?
We came from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
How long
But
were
we
you
were from
living
New
in?
Hampshire.
You're both from New Hampshire?
Yes, sir.
How'd you two meet?
Through a mutual friend.
Okay.
So like one of my best friends in high school became one of his best friends in college. And then we were all in a group on Facebook called Your Favorite YouTubes, where we share like funny YouTube videos and stuff for years. Like, I don't even know, for years before we even started talking. And then one night I was like a little drunk and I was visiting my parents at the time. And he posted a video of like a cat being dragged over another cat. You might have seen it. They're like on leashes. I don't know. I just thought it was so funny. So I was like at Silas Wallerstein, like, I don't know who you are, but I'll love you all my life. And then we started like talking to each other on Messenger, and we found out we both made music. So I was backpacking at the time and traveling. And so we started just digitally sending each other stuff and making songs together. Actually, like right when I first moved to LA, when I first met you, Paul and JC, that's when he and I had first started talking, making songs together and stuff. And then then I was traveling and we would like Skype from time to time and made a lot of songs.
No romance at this point.
No romance at this point.
Nothing romantic.
Purely
No.
platonic songwriting.
Okay. We're still platonic. Okay.
Yeah. So that went on for 3 years. And then I was living in Austin and I was actually going to go back to Berlin and I wanted to like spend the summer in Brooklyn and see some friends and stuff. And we finally met in person when I was there. And then we just became like best friends, best buddies. And
I was dating somebody else.
He was dating somebody else.
Yeah, it wasn't good. No, as in the relationship wasn't good. It wasn't. I wasn't doing anything.
No, we were just like
right.
Again,
but you're saying you were in a bad relationship.
He was in a bad
at
relationship
the time.
Yeah. And I was like, I was just happy to be single at the time. And then they broke up and I was like, oh, like we were both like, oh yeah, we'll like go out together and we can like be each other's wing man and wing woman. And we were just hanging out one-on-one all the time. And like, I just remember at one point I was thinking like, oh my God, if he started dating someone, like it would ruin my life. Like all we do is hang out with each other. And I was like, maybe I want to date Silas.
Wow.
And then we were like watching a movie one night and we kissed. And that was it. Then
Classic
It
movie.
was Princess Mononoke. You ever seen that movie?
Is it a cartoon?
Yeah, by Hayao Miyazaki.
Okay. I think I have seen
romantic.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It's a sexually charged film.
Yeah. It's repressed. She's very repressed.
I think the real thing that like made us like get to that vibe level was just a night we stayed up all night watching Djibouti dubs. You ever watch Djibouti dubs?
No.
Of the person who dubs over infomercials and shit like that.
Oh,
okay.
That sounds good.
And who else? It was also Vic Berger.
Oh yeah, I
we
love
watched a lot of Vic Berger. Yeah.
And we just, I was in pain the next day from laughing so hard. It was all night, I mean, this is cheesy shit, so. Whatever.
We asked. I like the cheesy shit. So what was the moment for you, Silas, where you were like, I think I'm into Jill?
Well, my roommate, my roommate and her had a minuscule thing when they were in Austin. When she was visiting Austin.
He was visiting.
He was visiting Austin. So when she moved to New York, they were, there was a little vibe going on. They both worked from home, and I was kind of like, whatever, I was just kind of excited to make music with her, and that's about it. But then there came a point one day I came home and they were just like on the couch and he was like rubbing her back or some shit, and I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't like this. I don't like what I'm seeing. I'm not a very jealous dude. So when I got a little jealous there, and I was like, wow. I was like, okay, yeah.
I guess I care. I guess I give a shit.
Yeah, I guess I give a shit. Yeah.
Pretty loud sign. It's hard to ignore that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I can't have him watch this episode, can I?
That son of a bitch.
Yeah.
You're like, so I peed in his clothes and he never found out. He never knew.
Yeah.
Nope.
Man. And then, but I feel like, I mean, Jill, maybe you met everybody, but I don't think I met you till I met you and Silas. No, I feel like I met you guys together as an item. Is that not true? Is that not the case?
Oh, I met you when I lived in LA before. I did. No, I did. I think we met.
Okay.
I don't really remember, but no, we did. We did. But I don't remember how or when or why. Were you living at the island?
I lived at the island, but maybe I was visiting the island because I lived there for like 2012 and then I left. And I never lived back at the island, but I would come to visit from time to time.
Okay.
Like that's when I met Dude and Sarah on one of my visits back to the island. I met Jessie as well on one of those visits because she was, it's like you meet all the people. Like who's here now?
Yeah.
Like who you guys got now? So did you live at the island or you would just go there?
No, I was there a couple of times.
There.
We were working on like a rap video and a rap for like, I don't know, the guys that Jay and Joey were like working with at the time.
Oh, the Pranksters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
JC and Joey helped these YouTube pranksters made a movie, and JC and Joey got roped into helping. JC or Joey was like a producer on it, but whatever. There was like going to be this rap song in it, and so they like wrote the rap, and did a video for it.
And I was there for that.
Okay.
And I wrote a verse.
Nice.
So enough about us. I don't know if you've already, talked about how you guys met on this podcast yet, but
we've talked about it, but
we've dabbled a little. But
we've talked about it, but clearly you don't listen to the podcast. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
no, it's episode 3.
I wrote it down right here. It's
Where
on
are
my-
your notes?
2034.
No, we grew up together. Actually, we met in third
that's right.
grade.
That's what I thought.
Oh
Yeah.
shit.
Christine
Aw.
moved to my town, and she was the cute new girl at school. And then I had a crush on her my whole life. And like we were friends. We're like in the same circle of friends. But I don't know. I just had this hopeless crush on her my whole life.
Aw.
And then
But not anymore.
so sweet.
not anymore. Well,
I
no,
crushed
still.
that.
I
Don't
still
worry,
do.
Silas. No.
I still do. But then like that group of friends, we all did a trip to Taos, New Mexico, like now 2.5 years ago or so.
Yeah, I think I remember you going on that trip.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
like it was right before we did our big show where Silas played and you played too. Yeah, the big show we did. It was like I came right back from that and did the show.
Oh,
And
that's right. I remember that.
So on that trip, I just kind of laid it on thick. I made my
Same
move.
thing. It's always watching television.
Yeah, we
you
were
know?
watching. It was funny actually. We watched.
You're like, you have to get disarmed a little.
It was the
You're
game.
like,
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, and it's just like, yeah, it like we don't have to look at each other or like talk. We can just sit here, but like inch closer and kind of get a little more snuggly. But we watched the series finale of Game of Thrones, kind of
That'll do it.
with everybody,
Right?
yeah.
That'll do it.
And then everybody went to bed, and I was like, well, you want to stay up and like watch something else? And she was like, yeah, sure. And then we started this show, Dead to Me, and then.
That one was good too because it was bad enough that you wanted to ignore it.
No, that was a good show. You didn't like it?
I had mixed feelings.
Okay, fair enough. But I was still very nervous. I mean, my heart is like pumping. We're sitting on a love seat together. I mean, it's basically like, I got it. Like it
Right,
it
yeah.
was a safe time to make a move. Clearly, like she could have gone to bed. But I was just so nervous. I didn't. We watched like 4 episodes of this show, and then finally.
It went on a while.
It's
yeah.
like 3 a.m. and I like make a move and we kissed. And then like,
So how long were you waiting for that move to be made?
I mean, it was pretty palpable. I think I wasn't,
Yeah.
there was no surprises really, but I even
but
said,
after we kissed, she goes, that couldn't have happened 3 hours ago. She's like, I'm so tired.
Right. Yeah.
I have to like drive home several hours tomorrow, like it's late, but
And in my head, it's like fireworks. Like, this is the magical moment I've been waiting for. And she's like, you couldn't have done that fucking like 2 hours ago. Like, I don't know. That was kind of funny. But yeah. And
Could
then
add a lot more fun
and
of the
then
night.
it was like, yeah, then it was sort of being like, well, why didn't you do this 15 years ago, But
Yeah,
it's
totally.
kind of, it's not.
But I'm glad I didn't.
Not the
like,
way it works.
Maybe we would have
Yeah.
dated and broken up and not be,
Yep.
like not be together now.
Yeah.
Or if we would have started dating then and been like, we're gonna be together forever. Like, be like, like we got to live. Like we had
No,
our
no,
20s.
I'm-
yeah.
Like
I agree. I'm so grateful for the time that I had to like get to know myself, outside of
For sure.
a relationship and in other relationships and like. I don't know.
Yeah.
That was important for my own growth. But I do like to tease him a lot about that still. I can't resist. It's like low hanging fruit, really.
Yeah.
But then when did we like date? Like when did I call you like my girlfriend?
I don't know. I didn't worry about that too much. But I mean, so what was really.
Yeah, we count that night. Like that's our anniversary is the. So if I ever forget it, I just look up series finale Game of Thrones.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we do too. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's a
same
good-
What's
thing.
our?
I mean, thank you.
Because like
It's kind of like after that, you're like, all right, that's it then.
Yeah.
Like
Right, exactly. Like that's the day it
That's
never slowed
it.
down after that. Like it's
Exactly.
just
Right.
been going. So that's the moment. That's the spark.
Yeah. And I wasn't really interested in a relationship at that time. But this guy, he's just so
Yeah.
sweet. And I just knew I just had to protect it. I had to
Yeah.
nurture it.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
here we are.
Yeah.
nurture it and let it fester.
Let it mature and
Let it
ripen.
ferment.
Yeah, let it kind of rot. Yeah, let it ferment
let
a
it
little
age
bit.
and rot.
grow
You
that
guys
mother.
get it, yeah.
Were
For
you
any
guys
kombucha fans out there?
before you two linked up? Were you big relationship people or big monogamy people?
I was kind of like one or the other because I was traveling for a while, like solo traveling, and then I dated someone for a couple of years. But it was like it's just so weird to reflect on, you know, in comparison. Like there was so much attachment there. Like I was still very like I'm gonna do this, like I'm gonna go here, and now it's like where are we gonna go? You know, like I just wouldn't make decisions the same way that I did back then. So like it just didn't feel as much like relationship-y as like what we have. But
Right.
I definitely had like a lot of
I see.
fun
So you'd be into
between
something,
two-year
but it's
relationships.
not like an anchor in your life. Your relationships, they were like just kind of by circumstance, like we're together.
Yeah,
here in this room right now, but
and
it's not like-
I still like was very much had my own plans and my own agenda. And now we make our plans together and like
Sure.
create a co-agenda.
No,
But-
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Or try to, anyways. You know.
Yeah. Try
Yeah.
to.
I always feel the same. Like all my other relationships, they were sort of like as soon as anything came up to lead paths differently, like you just took it. You know, it was just like,
Yeah.
okay, well now our lives are separating us. Like off you go, off I go. But yeah, it's
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
when you're in a like committed relationship. You don't split off.
Yeah.
You go in a little pair everywhere.
I was always quick
Yeah.
to be like, oh, well, this isn't going to work. Bye. Like,
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
you know, like,
Right.
"Oh, well, see
guess
you.
that's
See you
it.
never.
Bye."
But,
Oh, no.
but yeah,
It's
now
over.
and it does help that like, I don't know. This hasn't been like why we've stayed together, but like we're like friends, you know, we've known each other forever. So it's
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like breaking up doesn't even. It's not even fathomable necessarily. 'Cause it's like what? Then we're not friends, or like I don't know. It's anyway.
Yeah. No, I totally agree.
It would be horrible. Yeah. But what about you, Silas?
Yeah.
Were you like long relationships guy, short relationships?
Not really. I was kind of like, you know, after college, I lived at home for a bit, and I just had some flings. And then when I moved, I got a job in Long Island, and I just kind of hated it there. So really, anybody I was dating was sort of just somebody to have a little bit of an extra. What do you call it? A
Companion?
support,
Yeah.
a little companion, yeah.
Mhm.
But there was always a point where I was like, you know, this isn't going to be a long term
Just
thing.
Right.
Detached from the beginning, you know.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Which is not, I'm not proud of that necessarily. You know, no one wants to lead anyone on, but it is what it is. You know.
Yeah. I mean, how else are you gonna get your sea legs
Yeah.
for the long-term partnership if you don't kind of? I mean, it helps you learn a lot about yourself too, and what you want in someone and what you don't want in someone. And yeah, I think it's important to have those, even if it is like short-term or even if it's casual or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think everyone needs to go through that.
Yeah.
I agree. Every failed relationship I've had is the reason this relationship hasn't failed. You know, like
Yeah.
you
Yeah, for
learn
sure.
a lot from a failed relationship.
Yeah.
As long as
Yeah.
you're like a person who can look at themselves critically, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she sort of saved me from my previous relationship where, you know, I knew I was sort of like trapped in it in a way. I wasn't in the best headspace, just living in Brooklyn. I didn't really have that many. I didn't have like a huge network of friends. I was living with two of my best friends, but still, you know, there's still like that lonely sort of feeling when you're in a big city and you're not necessarily like getting to know all the people that you're working with and stuff like that. So, you know, you have your companion, and I just knew I was unhappy for a long time, but when I was like, life can be fun, and you know, it's like an important wake up call sometimes.
Sweet.
Have somebody come and roll in, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes that before you realize like how far from that place you've been, you know, because you get in this like autopilot trance. We're just like kind of coasting through life for a little while, and you know, whether that's work related or relationship wise, sometimes it's just like a person walks in and it's this jolt to it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
like, oh, wow,
Breath
don't-
of fresh air.
Yeah.
Mhm. You're like, oh
Yeah.
yeah,
You realize
why
that.
do my cheeks hurt so bad? Right, because we were laughing like all night long.
Right? Yeah. Like, what is this, joy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
I haven't felt this in a while.
I honestly felt like the Grinch at the end of the movie, like when his heart grows like 8 sizes,
Yeah.
like that's the equivalent of Paul because he's just so cheery and happy all the time. And I'm like, okay, my Grinch heart is like stretching and growing. Sometimes that's painful, but no, it's,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
no, it's good.
I've learned too, though. Sometimes I'm like too positive, like like to a point where it's like unempathetic. If someone's like going through a really hard time, and I'm like, it's fine. Like life's great. Like you're fine. Like look,
I
look,
don't think you're as bad
we're all
at that
gonna
as you
die.
think.
Like we're just on a planet floating, we're on a rock floating in nothing. Like it's great, and it's like still like, but people are like I'm hurting. Like this doesn't. It's not making me feel better. So.
Well, you grew up without anxiety. I don't know what kind of childhood you had, or maybe you just like repressed all of that memories. I'm not really sure, but you're like truly one of the only people I know that's just like there's no anxiety. It's like you suck my anxiety away. It's like
Wow. I do feel anxious sometimes.
Sucking them off.
do you?
Yeah. I do. Yeah, I do. I do feel anxious sometimes.
He feels anxious when he's being inappropriate around somebody that's having a bad time, and he's being
Yeah.
He's so bad.
That makes me start to feel anxious. I'm
He's
like, oh,
anxious that he's too happy.
how come you're not smiling too? What did I do? What did I do? No, I mean, I feel
That is kind of
like
it.
my childhood was like just cushy and sweet and nice, and I really have been just pretty chipper my whole life. I guess I don't know, but I do have I have down days and I have anxious filled days, and I doubt myself at times and whatever, but but yeah. So I was showing Christine the Crater Made shit. Are you guys still like, what's happening with that?
Nothing is happening with that.
It's
anymore.
over.
Nothing's happening.
It's
with that.
over.
It's dead and gone.
Yeah, no. I like gave it one last shot, and I just wasn't enjoying it. So I got a couple like wholesale orders from this business, and I was making some lamps. I took out another LLC here in Texas, yeehaw, and I just wasn't feeling it. And so once we started working on the van, I basically sold off kind of what I could sell off, and oh man, I've been happier. Yeah, Crater
Good.
Made's done.
It's done. It's
Yeah.
over.
Don't even ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I asked.
So what's the van life like? What's happening there?
Oh well,
we kind of just like dipped our toe in the van life pond.
yeah. There's two sectors, right? There's van building, and van life.
Yeah,
it.
the van
And,
building. The van building was a really cool experience because we're both really passionate about design, and so it was cool to put our heads together and come up with like a unique concept.
Right.
And obviously we had to do a ton of research, so it was like a good exercise to really stretch our brains. Like for me, I'd never thought about how to set up like an electrical system or how solar works or breakers and fuses and things like that. So it was just interesting to gain some perspective on that and actually learn how to like set up a whole solar system in the van.
Yeah.
Super.
Did a ton of plumbing, and I mean, just everything that you need to do in the van is so different from any other build project because there's no squared off, lines. Everything is rounded, and there's like some weird little bend up here that's supporting this or that. So yeah, you have to be really strategic, and
You got to be badass.
That's what you got to be.
Seriously.
So what, you built out this
No.
We're gonna
van,
be Texas strong.
yeah.
but you're not living in it. This is just like is it to sell? Is this like a service you want to provide, or is this, or
That's a good question.
Or is it just a great, awesome thing to own and to get to use?
Yeah, probably the latter.
Probably
Yeah.
the last, but we did a trip up to visit his family, and then we traveled a little bit after that. So we were away from Austin for like 6 weeks or something. that
Yeah, it
trip.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, we were mostly like living out of the van, and that was okay. But we weren't really fully embracing like the van life. We were mostly visiting family and working out of their driveway with no cell service, and so that we were really stressed out. I don't know. It was a little bit rough, but the van itself is super.
Yeah,
awesome.
have you guys seen it?
I don't think so.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, you need to see that shit.
I
Yeah.
do.
Who has a cell phone? Pull up something.
What do we got?
Pull something up. Do you have my phone?
Pull something up.
I don't know where my phone is. We don't.
Oh, that's
here's
fine.
my phone. Here's my phone.
You can look later.
I'm
We
pulling
have
it
like
up.
a printed like trifold PowerPoint presentation.
Fucking thing slide down. Yeah, so no, I think to start, the van was really because there was like no hope in sight for the pandemic, and we really wanted to visit family. We wanted to travel a bit, and there wasn't any hope in the vaccine yet, so we just wanted a vessel that we could really, actually leave our.
It looks
our
amazing. And I'm not surprised, but it looks incredible. It's like
Yeah, it's so
super
modern and
super
clean.
modern, clean. It like looks big in there and spacious and cozy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah. It does feel pretty big. It's weird because we had taped out the blueprint of the van on our floor. And sometimes when we're sitting in the van, we're like, I can't believe this is that piece of like those pieces of tape that were on the floor. Like it feels so spacious, especially the Ram ProMaster. It's more squared than the Sprinters, which sort of like taper inwards. So
Right.
it's a little bit bigger in there.
We lost your mic again there, Jill. Sorry.
Oh.
There you go. You're back.
Uh-oh.
Maybe take have the cord up with it or something. It seems like it kind of drops out. I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Hello.
So how did Silas? When did you start like working with wood? When did you become a woodsman?
Oh, long time ago. Let me tell you.
Yeah, what's the history there?
When I was about 10 years old, I had a little wood shop in my basement. And no, I was doing a lot of stuff in my basement. So it sort of was.
Sounds so
No,
sketchy.
but when I was 10 years old, I had a wood
Oh,
shop
the
in my
woodworking.
basement.
We're talking about woodworking.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. What were you doing?
No.
Stuff in the basement.
No, so
Don't go
when
in
my-
the basement.
Don't go in the basement. When my grandfather died, he left a bunch of shit, and it was just in a bunch of boxes in the basement. And I think I was like 8 at the time, something like that, 10, I don't know, something like that. And it was just a bunch of tools and knickknacks and screws and all that stuff. And so I just started tinkering around in the basement. And then I just got to a point one day. It was like 8th grade. I was like, yeah, I really just want to make a pool table. So I basically asked my parents to like help me get all that stuff that I needed to make it. And yeah, I built a pool table.
And he made that damn pool table.
Wow.
And
It's
then,
still in the basement.
Really?
It still doesn't have pockets.
I never
It
added
doesn't have any
pockets to it.
pockets.
Just got to get those pockets. Like as soon as I get these pockets, though. When you're playing a game, you just hear the balls like fall and bounce on the concrete, bro.
Oh no, we played a couple games and they just smack against the wall.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It's like, hey, stand there to catch this. I'm going for the side pocket.
Yeah, there was a danger element about it.
Yeah, it's
it was
exciting.
nice, yeah, it was exciting. No, and then from there on out, I just I was doing woodworking stuff, and then I went to school for industrial design, and the program that I was in was there was a lot of hands-on stuff. So I was doing that, and then I don't know if we don't really talk to you guys about like what I've done and stuff.
No,
but
tell me.
When I was living in Long Island, I was like the lead fabricator for this. It's pretty up and coming now. It wasn't at the time, but it's this lighting manufacturer called Allied Maker. They do like all handmade,
Beautiful lamps.
brass lighting and stuff like that.
Cool.
So I was kind of there at its start, which was cool.
Super cool.
But at some point, I left, and then I was in a wood shop in LA, doing a lot of furniture stuff. So yeah, just along the years, I just learned a lot of the stuff. But with the van, for instance, I know like the basics, right? You with whatever you get into, you kind of like have the core structure of stuff. And I was like probably a little above the core structure of stuff, but I'm not like an
Savant.
incredible like
Right, you're not.
I'm not a savant.
You're no Elon Musk. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
No Elon Musk.
No,
is a
not
woodworking
Elon Musk.
shop.
So yeah, the van was cool. I think the coolest thing about the van for me was that it proved to both of us that like we can work together as a design team. It proved to me that I can make things that are bigger and badder than cutting boards. I was kind of tired of like doing all that
All
crazy
these
stuff.
fucking cutting boards.
All
Yeah.
these fucking cutting boards.
It really was like one of the few like very
That's
oh
good.
sorry. It was like one of the few times I feel in either of our lives where there was like a like we felt very accomplished
Yeah.
because there was like an ending to it. Like a lot of the things that we've both been working on through our lives are like you continue working on them, like music or
Right.
whatever else we're trying to pursue or work or saving.
Right. There's no like
whatever.
finish line per
Yeah.
se.
Exactly. And this was like when we sat down and we finished it. And then we packed it up and we drove it away for the first time. We're both like, oh my God.
It's very surreal. Yeah, it's cool.
Like looking, as we're driving, I'm like looking into the back and I'm like, we built this, like it's done and we're driving it. That's crazy.
Well, you're also looking in the back because we
weren't sure if
never
anything
took
was
it on
gonna fall.
on a test run. So we have all these cabinets hung up. We have a fucking bathroom made of like wood and plastic. We just never tested it. So, it was
Nothing broke.
nothing
That's
broke.
good.
Yeah.
So,
What, you got a
done.
lot of Velcro or, magnets or like, how's everything staying?
well, the cabinets and the drawers are soft close, so they tend to like
Okay.
stay more shut than your typical cabinet.
There's some magnets, there's some Velcro,
Yeah,
but it's a
there's some
lot of screws. I mean,
There's
it's
a couple magnets.
actually like pretty much like building a house, like a mini house. You got your plumbing, you got your electrical running throughout it, cords all over. You got your
Cords all
you got
over.
your dungeon, you know.
Dungeon, yeah. The basement. Yeah.
You got the basement.
Don't go in the basement.
Yeah.
Wow, so cool.
yeah.
And so
Yeah.
is there like, Crater Made is done, but is there something the two of you would still like to do as a collaborative effort of some type of a business or something?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Potentially. I mean, we really like working together
Sometimes
in some capacity. Yeah. Yeah, we have very different working styles.
she's positive.
I'm more
I'm
like, yeah,
I'm not
enthusiastic.
necessarily the most positive guy in the
Mm.
world.
Yeah.
You know, I kind of like
But we worked on that a lot through this.
yeah, I
process.
muddle through things. Like I'm just such a perfectionist that, and especially the van, I sort of felt like it was my responsibility to make sure it didn't like fall apart, so there was like this
Safety.
added pressure. Yeah. And I had to, figure out how to get that cellar in there, and it was a tough ask.
How are we
so,
going to move with the cellar? God, there must be a way. So,
Yeah,
but what?
but,
So, what are you guys doing for work now in Austin? Or,
basically what you do, Paul, but with less cool people.
but
Yeah.
you're. Oh yeah, right. You guys do the marketing and
Significantly
the
less
shit.
cool.
That's right. That's right.
I'm
We're
doing
both like editing podcasts
and YouTube videos
and YouTube
now.
videos.
Right. I did some editing for you guys one time. I remember.
Oh, that's right.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
edited,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was very helpful.
Hey,
Yeah, it was.
Oh, right. Because you guys, yeah, dude, you guys just you take on a lot. I feel like, and at times,
Yeah.
I remember there were times where it's like you guys are just like, there's just so much. There's so much. There's too much.
I know.
There's so much. Like, please help. Like, we'll
Yeah.
pay you.
Yeah.
We just need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but to explain to Christine, it's like different health and wellness people who have like a product, but
Yeah.
to promote that product, they have like a YouTube channel or a podcast or something like that, kind of like this, microcosm of marketing or whatever. Like they
Yeah.
Basically,
Help
alt
organize
health
all that.
celebs.
Yeah, like alt health, pseudo celebrities.
Yeah, pseudo. Let's use the word
Yeah.
pseudo in there.
alt health pseudo
Generous.
Pseudo
celebrities.
celebrities.
Yeah,
I
Yep.
like it.
Or
Yeah.
alt health pseudo AHCC.
AHCCs.
P-
Even AH.
P.
Sorry.
Oh, P. Yeah, sorry. I don't know how to.
Pseudo. Oh yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
Right,
how to-
PC.
pseudo.
I don't know how to.
Sing
AH.
sound bowls in your future. Yeah.
What's alt health like?
Alternative?
I'm not
like-
healthy, but I'm alt healthy.
Yeah, right.
Counter health. I'm anti health.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
there's a big spectrum in that industry. One side you got the people, forcing kids to wear masks, or it's like the equivalent of slavery.
We don't
Where
work
you
for
don't
those
work there,
people.
but yeah,
Let's be clear. On
That's
that.
alt
We don't work
alt
for
right health.
Yeah,
exactly,
that's
yeah.
a different.
That's Q health.
yeah.
That's
No,
Q
we work-
health. Yeah.
I would say like the sketchiest area we get into is some stuff with like bioenergetics, which is like it's pseudoscience at best at the moment.
Some of it is, yeah.
There are some studies
I think it's
support it.
real.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Like anti-EMF pendants is probably like the weirdest thing that we promote. Well, not we, but for the company.
I don't know what any of those things are. Anti-EMF, is that like?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
electromagnetic frequency. So right now you're bombarded by so much electromagnetic frequency.
Okay.
You got your router. You got that microphone in front of you. You got those headphones
on
and the cell phone that's
boy.
near your crotch.
We're buzzing.
Yeah.
All right,
So
and
you
what
need-
it like ground? It like kind of is a conductor. It like takes some of that.
We don't know.
They don't know. They don't know.
They don't tell us.
They
Yeah.
won't specifically explain how it works.
To
Just
learn
know
that, you
it's
have to go down
real.
in the cellar, and we're not going down there.
Exactly.
Yeah, we'll tell you.
No,
that it's down in the cellar.
We'll tell you, but you got to go down to the
Yeah.
cellar.
This rock apparently like absorbs those things. I'm gonna get it.
Oh, what do you got? Yeah, I get
Oh.
it.
We got a rock for that.
What is it?
Is it an amethyst or a?
It's a
quartz?
cool rock.
Is it
It's
quartzite?
It's big.
Holy
what type of
shit.
rock is it?
I forget, but they told me it was good for that. And then I bought
Oh,
it
nice.
at the Gem Show.
So
I'm
we're
a sucker.
covered.
So basically,
You're
just
covered.
slide your promotions into my DM, and I'm sure I'll.
I just kind
I'll
of go
bite.
like this. Like, you know.
Yeah. If you put it up to your ear, you can also hear the sea in it. Yeah.
You can hear the ocean. So,
Get it.
so we're covered,
Yeah,
but
your detox pathways.
Yeah.
got you. All right, and so you're still, because you were working remote. Not to talk
Yeah.
about money or whatever, but you're probably making about the same, but every living expense is less. Or that
Yeah.
was a big perk of leaving LA, I would assume, right? Or is
Yeah.
Austin pretty comparable?
It's getting more expensive now, but we actually bought a house when we moved here. And since then, it became like the next big boom town.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of new, headquarters moving here for a lot of different companies. And there's a lot of Californians coming out here and New Yorkers. So
Just about everyone.
Very quickly, the cost of living rose. So we're lucky that we did buy a house when we.
Yeah,
when we
you're
did,
just
because-
you're pre-Rogan. You're the pre-Rogan era of
Yeah.
Austin.
We're pre-Rogan. We actually
Yeah.
we called him up and we're like, dude, you should, probably just
come.
move here.
Yeah,
It's really dope.
because our property value will go up.
Exactly.
We can sell our
Yeah.
house.
And it did.
The more, the merrier.
And
Yeah.
it fucking did.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Gosh,
I think now it would be hard for us to have bought a house here.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's very competitive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
It's like some areas are like pushing LA, like outskirts of LA now.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
they
crazy.
are.
It's
What were you about to say?
Zillow keeps snatching up everything, and then
Yeah,
the
that's-
Airbnb. I mean, Zillow's buying homes constantly. It's just inflating everything.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked.
So if you guys wanted to move elsewhere, where would you move to?
We look
I know
at-
your work really keeps you there at the moment.
My word, yeah. For me to move, I would have to quit my job, but I've had it for a long time. Like every era needs to sort of come to an end. If it was, I would have quit it a long time ago. Like I sort of have like 2 years. That's kind of a max for like anything. Like every chapter needs to like move on. But like
Yeah.
it's such a great job. It's kept me. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, it would involve for me. Well, and for Christine. Christine works at a school and teaches art to kids locally.
I was
so
just about to ask. Yeah.
so for
That's
both
awesome.
of us, it'd be a big change, but. We'd welcome it whenever it
There
came.
are kids everywhere. is
There are
what I've
kids
found.
everywhere.
So that's always like something that I take comfort in. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Christine moved here from Tucson, and I was going to visit her a lot in Tucson, and we both really like Tucson.
yeah, that's kind of like my happy place
Yeah,
in this
that's-
world.
Isn't it pronounced Tucson?
You could say it that. It actually.
That is technically, I think, the right
The
pronunciation.
root of that is actually
Tucson.
closer. Yeah, it was like Chukson. Chukson, like CHUKSON was like the original.
Oh, so
Chukson,
it was
like,
native
it's kind of-
lands that we stole. Is that what I'm hearing?
That's what
Wasn't
you're
it all?
hearing.
Isn't it all? Yeah. What do you mean?
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah.
That's
okay.
But
that's accurate.
But so yeah. So like we look all over.
This is nervous laughter.
but yeah, Tucson is definitely our like number one choice and most often searched on Zillow is
But
Tucson.
we look at Santa Fe a lot too. Like we both. I mean, I
yeah.
really love the high desert too, and I love the kind of space you can get, the proximity to nature. You still have like you get a little more seasons up there, and
Yeah.
it's just so beautiful. So I don't know. That's kind of what I'd like. Like the next quieter chapter is what I
Yeah,
would
for
like
sure.
to unravel that one.
Yeah, we talk a lot about like at least for me, like it feels like there is like a exciting new chapter, like just on the next page, and I've just been afraid to just turn it and read it, like just been kind of holding on to this one because we're kind of comfortable, like we have a house, we got jobs, like I don't know. So but
I feel like the older you get, the harder it is to convince yourself to take those risks, even if you're more like financially stable.
Yeah.
Or you're more like you're in a place where you could take more risks. You just start to I don't know if it's like a count your blessings type mentality where you're like, oh, I'm so lucky and like I have it so good. So what if I changed everything? And then all of a sudden I'm like,
right. When you got nothing, you got
Yeah.
nothing to lose.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose my
true.
cellar.
I just dug this cellar. I got so
Well,
much.
they don't
I got,
even have cellars in Austin. So.
and if we get rid of the
Right. We don't have cellars. Right.
right, yeah, most people don't. but so I don't know. Yeah, Tucson feels likely. But I just visited JC in Sayulita, Mexico, and every time I go there, I'm like, why don't I live here? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not that hard. People do it every day, and it's like
Yeah.
fucking paradise over there.
Would you move there, Christine?
I don't know. I mean, I would, but I have a lot of anxiety around it. Just like the general, I don't know. Part of me thinks it'd be good to be like a foreigner, I think that would be challenging in some ways, but like a beautiful, growing, like learning experience. I like the idea of it, but it's also scary to, like I want to like have kids and,
Right.
like how do I handle this? Like there's obviously the logistics of not being fluent in Spanish. I mean, there's some like pretty serious things going on. Like having no work, like I don't work remotely. So I'd be completely like coming up with my life from scratch again. So again, it does get daunting like the more you do it. And I just kind of uprooted everything less than a year ago. So I don't know. I don't feel as open to it as I wish I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel that. Yeah, that's a good answer. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
But it would be so dreamy. Like it does feel dreamy, but also nightmare-y, I guess.
Right.
Like
But
it's
I doubt-
scary and nice.
For me, it's like, yes, so scary, so stressful, or, a little bit at least. But, like, you're not going to regret it. It's like any travel, any trip you take, it's like, you're not going to go to Spain and, like, regret it. Unless, like, you get murdered in Spain or, like, fall into some cellar or somewhere or something. Like, probably you're going to be like, that was so great. I'm so glad I went to Spain or
if
Cuba
they fall
or
in my
Africa.
cellar, they're going to have a great time.
Have a great time for the rest of your life.
Yeah. No, yeah, totally. Yeah.
So-
I kind of fall in that same place where I wish I was more open to just being excited about, going somewhere very unique. She's, big into that kind of movement. She really wants, we're thinking about possibly living in London. Maybe we don't know yet, but we're going to test the waters.
Yeah, we're going to visit.
And, I always notice myself feeling the anxiety about thinking about the logistics of actually moving and becoming an expat.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's just something you kind of have to get through. But, for you, Christine, you got to teach your kids. Like I probably are very passionate about that. So if you can't really move that over to your next location, then
But Christine's also
what
very
age group do you
crafty.
teach?
I'm teaching art classes, but I'm doing the other position at a school is like a marketing kind of role right now. So I'm not in the classroom like I have been most of my life. I was teaching preschool, like infants and toddlers, and then up to like pre-K.
wow.
But I've also nannied and I've like done pretty much every job related to childcare. So, I'm not necessarily attached to like one role in particular, but and I definitely have in my life kind of imagined like nannying in a foreign country and, just like the benefit of living with a family and really getting this kind of up close and personal everyday look at a place instead of just sort of like traipsing through as a tourist. So I like the idea of kind of doing that, but
I hear the cartel pays really well for nannies.
They always need nannies.
They always need a nanny.
They want their kids to learn Spanish and English. It's
exactly
like a globalized world they're running.
That's
Right.
right. That's right. Well, and Christine also is very crafty. Like she's like she makes jewelry. She makes lino cut prints and like stamps them on like envelopes and like
Cool.
Even did
Where do we see this
T-shirts and towels and shit.
I haven't ripped the Band-Aid off.
She hasn't ripped it. She's like, we're this close to like doing an Etsy page, like getting it going and like
Yeah.
because just gotta stop making things and do like the less fun
Well,
part.
I know what you mean. That's like me with music. It's like I just gotta stop making music and start like figuring out how to make a career out of music. But like I can't stop just making music. But
yeah, this is what I'm going through as well.
We've been
Paul.
having the same
literally the same thing.
conversations.
it's
But
like yeah.
As far as Etsy though, I don't want to move. We can talk about this in a minute, but to keep on the Etsy thing, Etsy's a great place to just. You don't have to sure you just put some of your stuff up there. You can see people liking stuff or favoriting it, and you're like, yeah, okay. It's like people are seeing my stuff, and if you get a sale, it's awesome. It's like a really no pressure, great way
Low
to just,
stakes.
get your stuff out there. Run a couple of ads. They're super cheap. And I think you should just do it,
I know.
Yeah, definitely.
I gotta do it.
It's just to do it. And like
Do it.
in our talk of like
I'll keep you posted.
feeling safe and
Yeah.
secure in our work, like we were talking about this the other night, but it's like if we suddenly both didn't have our jobs, how quick we'd set her Etsy up like that. And I'd be figuring out like different ways to make money with my music like way quicker, like the necessity. And I know if I create the necessity, if I allow myself to have necessity, I'll get where I want to go quicker.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's also like, it's just cushy. Like
It's so hard.
it's
Dude,
tough.
it's
And
so
it's also,
cushy.
for me, it's I talk myself out of it too, because like I work with Steve-O and I met Post Malone and I met, it's
Cody
like,
Co.
Cody
That's
Co,
my jealous
we
one.
saw
oh
it.
yeah. Oh, nice.
I see you with people. I'm like, that's cool. That's cool. When Cody Co came up, I was like,
Yeah.
Paul.
We love Cody Co.
yeah.
that's
like,
great.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
He's a YouTuber that we had on the podcast. But like I convinced myself like staying with this job is actually advancing my career because I'm rubbing elbows with these people, and maybe like the next person I'm going to go, hey, you want to hear my music? And they'll be like, wow, let me call my friend Dr. Dre and we'll get this, so
Yeah, no,
I convinced myself
musician
like
has that. Like you have this like deep rooted belief that like one day somebody is gonna like discover you or you're gonna share it with the right person, and then like it's just gonna happen, and you have to like continue having that belief to just keep going.
Yeah.
In music.
Absolutely.
It's like, it's so rare that something like that's happened. So you like, it's hard to back away.
See, we're losing, right? You're not getting her level now.
What? It's probably because you're bending the cord there.
I'm bending it to keep it supported.
Okay,
That's
I'm going to switch her cord, and hopefully that becomes better.
Nice. All right. New chord. We're getting a chord
You guys are
switch,
so
ladies
All right,
and
we're
gentlemen.
having a chord intermission, and I'll keep talking here while I'm changing the chord because I know people really want that content.
People,
So-
we can, yeah.
I liked your theme song, your instant theme song. That's good. Like, do we stand up and run around the table? For
Yeah, we gotta like run it.
like switch seats, change outfits.
All right, here's the moment of truth. New chord. We've had to change chords mid podcast too, so no pressure.
I'm so embarrassed.
You're one of our
Yeah, I
first
bet you-
guests
I
to
bet
have
you
a
guys-
microphone on the other end.
Thank God they're not. What is with everybody in the tiny microphones? I really don't like those.
Oh, the
Like a
lavaliers.
little, like lavalier.
No, the ones that they always hold them though, not the ones that they clip
Oh, I
onto the
think-
shirt.
Oh, that's just. I'm pretty sure that's just an iPhone headphone, right? And they have
Is that
like
what's
this
happening?
guy, right? And then.
Yeah, I think that's-
right.
I don't. I swear, I've seen like people holding microphones on TikTok in like little things. It's almost
Oh.
like they're
It's
playing
probably
the
a little
tiny
mini-
violin.
It's like a mic you plug into a. It's probably basically a
Oh.
lav mic, but they're just holding it.
It looks
Yeah,
stupid.
We're just saying, thank God you're holding a real fucking size
way to go.
microphone.
It's just standard, regular size.
Otherwise, you'd look like idiots.
You'd look like you had giant hands, like you're gonna just steal
Yeah.
someone and drag them into a cellar.
It's like a micro penis.
Hey,
microphone.
Joey.
The micro penis of microphone.
It's a microphone. Micro penis. It doesn't matter.
I got you. The micro. See, the phone
Already
the P
micro is the problem with the bit.
Micro squared? No, we should leave that there.
No, microphone is good. It's the P is silent, but it's there. You know, it's a micro P. It's a microphone. You know what I'm saying? The P is silent.
The P is silent.
So it's like a micro penis, but a microphone. Okay. You get what I'm saying?
No.
No, it's a little too meta. It's okay. Let's move on.
Okay. Wait, what were we talking about
before I started
the microphone?
Shaming small.
Basically
before the
just
intermission.
before the
intermission.
shit, right?
No, I was talking about I was talking about how like those situations where the right person hears your music is like so rare for that to happen, but it does happen. So like you hold on to that as a musician for so long thinking like, dude, yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but it could.
It's ingrained in my DNA, dude. I feel like as a kid, I would think like someday, like someone's going to ring the doorbell, be like, are you Paul Brisky? Like we've been looking for you. Like we've been looking for you, and it's like, you found me. Like, yes. Yeah. Like
it's you.
Slow motion. Yeah. Like, oh my God, I can't believe it's you. Like you haven't put yourself out there at all, but like, we know, like, we're Hollywood. We know about you. Like,
so, you don't have to do any work now.
Yeah, exactly. It's this easy. This is how easy. Didn't you know? You always knew it'd be this easy. But you, Jill, you were like you kind of had that, no? You were like a singer at a young age.
Yeah, like in the very, like the most modest sense. Yeah, I had like, I was close. I think that's what makes it so much harder now. Like the idea of really trying to like pursue it ever again was that like I put in so much work for so long to get to a certain point, and then everything just kind of fell apart. And then I continued making music, but just like as in, you know, it's my passion and an outlet, and I would play shows wherever I was living, and led me to meeting really cool people and having really cool experiences. But for a while now, I haven't really been pursuing it. And every now and then I'll get that little buzz inside of me, and that's like, but it could happen. And then I'll reach out to someone that I used to work with or whatever and be like, hey, here's my latest music. You can like, do you want to have coffee? We'll have coffee. And they'll be like, oh yeah, everything's so great. And if you pay this producer, then maybe he'll listen to it too. And I'm like, okay, like, how do I do that? And then I just never hear from them again. It's just like, you know, it's hard out there. And I think
especially right now with needing to have like a social media presence.
Yeah, social media definitely added a whole new layer to it.
Well, how did the whole thing start? At what age were you like singing and like how did you get into that?
Well, from a very young age, I was doing theater, musical theater, and then when I was 7, I started like acting in commercials and
potty training videos
and different things like that. I did do a potty training video, but it's about my little brother. I was fully trained at this point.
Okay, I was gonna say you're 7.
I was hosting the show. Yeah,
I'm like I figured it out.
My brother's learning how to use the potty. You know, but nothing explicit. But yeah, so I did that for a while, like a lot of different industrial things. And then when I was 11, I sort of had like a mini experience of that moment where my dad was doing a like sound engineering course, and he brought me in as his guinea pig. And there was a guy there that day who just like happened to be there, like in the studio, and he was like, she's amazing, she's so talented. And I was just like singing in the studio, and he's like, we got to do a record. So that was when I was 11. And so we did an EP with this guy, and he like set up all these shows for me. And then I got a manager through that, and he was booking shows for me, and I was doing a lot of stuff with like Radio Disney, blah blah blah. And then
blah blah blah. You also had a very small role in Mystic River.
Okay, that's so
no
stupid.
Shit. Now I have a reason to watch Mystic River. I keep passing over it.
You shouldn't have said anything, Silas.
She hates when I say that.
I hate when people talk about that.
She didn't really have a role.
It was so like inflated in my hometown, and it's like so insignificant. Like I've probably
you just see her face at one point.
I've done other like background roles that probably show me more than this like very small.
Yeah,
role
true. Like the stuff you're doing in New York. Yeah, sorry. It was a joke.
Nah, that's all right.
So rude.
But you know who's going in the cellar tonight?
Yeah. I guess who's sleeping
oh my God!
in the
Stop
cellar
talking
tonight.
about the cellar. Anyways,
I'm pushing her to the edge.
Jesus.
So
then I was doing a show, and I had like strep throat at the time. So I was like, oh, this is going to be the worst show of my life. But there was a guy there who was like, you're amazing, and I want to bring you out to LA, and we'll do a full album. So I went out to LA with this guy, and not by myself. I was like 14 at the time, and they got me an apartment. We did this whole album. And then I toured for like the whole summer after that. And then they were like in talks with Sony, and Sony literally called my house and they were like, we're going to sign you. Welcome to the Sony family. And I was like, oh my God, me and my family were all like, oh my God, it's like, it's finally happening. All my dreams are coming true. And then my label declared bankruptcy that I was with at the time. And it just all went away. It was just done. And there was like no contact ever again.
Out that sound effect.
Whap, whap.
Wait, we have it. No.
There it is.
That's it. Yeah.
I gotta be quicker with those in the
Why don't you
future.
have it up
And
on
then-
your fucking table?
Depression.
I don't know. It's kind of an eyesore.
True.
I like it. But anyways, yeah. So like I had that experience, and that's why I think you do keep that little hope inside of you for a long time as a musician.
But
And
wait,
it does happen.
you get the call. We're signing you. Hooray.
Yeah.
We're stoked.
Yeah.
Company goes bankrupt. No more,
No contact ever
contact,
again.
no follow up from Sony. Did you guys call Sony and be like, "Hey, are we still good?" Even though
Honestly, I don't know because I was so young at the time. I've like we've been talking about this. Like I should actually ask my parents what really happened.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the aftermath of that was. I just knew after that, like I had no rights to my album and like I couldn't sell it anymore. And yeah, things just like there was no contact and things just kind of fell apart.
And so
It's
you're
like the nightmare situations you fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Like everything's
it's all
just gonna get
happening, like,
ripped away
Yeah.
from you.
Nope.
That's got to be so hard too, like as a teen when you're not really your fully rational self. Like you're not quite at the maturity level to really handle that gracefully. At least I could imagine that would be a hard
Yeah, I
pill to
wouldn't
swallow as a tween.
Yeah, it was tough, but then I just kept going for a while and still like played music, and I was homeschooling for a few years. So then I went back to high school, actually, like the end of that year that all that happened, and I just met really good people and just like went back to school, and it was all fine and good.
Well, so something you talk about a lot is she like went really hard with acting for a while and was making some progress. And she talks about like she just didn't make it. There's so many stories she tells me all the time. She's like, yeah, I was in the final audition with so and so for that part, but they ended up getting it, and it's like for Hannah Montana or whatever, right? Yeah. She was like always mingling in the
So close, so many times.
Yeah. What's the other big one?
I don't know. There was a movie with Mel Gibson, I think, that I put on hold for. So they were like paying me not to take any other roles.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, oh, never mind. Dakota Fanning is going to be available. So like
that.
just little things like that eventually I was like, this just isn't meant to happen for me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not, you can't force it sometimes. So.
And then you were also doing Broadway, and you almost.
No, I wasn't doing Broadway.
Oh no, not Broadway. You're doing plays. You're doing
Let's
plays.
see.
Yeah, I was
Theater.
doing
Yes.
like professional theater out in California for a while.
And then what was that role that the Modern Family girl ended up taking?
Oh, that was like my first audition. I auditioned for like
okay.
the TV version of Annie, and that's how they set me up with my like New York agent at the time, because ABC was like, oh, like she didn't get the role, but we'd like to see her again. So here's like
Is
person.
the mic going out again?
No. I hear you
good.
guys. I hear you guys great. The new cord is working good. Well, damn, Jill. I mean, it's,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. That's good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
No, honestly, like it sounds like a sad story, but I just had a really great time. It really made me who I was, and I was surrounded by such talented musicians and actors, and I think that really helped me become a songwriter and like the musician that I became. Not that it's like going anywhere, but it helped me a lot.
Well,
in my
I was
life.
going to say, I don't I don't think it's like you got no chance of still making it or whatever. Like, I'm not trying
That's
to
what I say.
fill your head up with bullshit or whatever, but, and maybe that's just because that's how I feel about myself.
Yeah,
but
you
it's
have
like,
to cling on to these.
Right,
but
right.
like, if you give
Jill
up,
can't
I'm gonna
make it,
feel like
I
an
can't.
idiot. You know?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know. Like, I don't think you should be. I don't think it's good to say it as like, oh, that's not meant to be. Like, you were that fucking close, not for no reason. Like, not meant to be is like, people were like, what are you doing here? Like, you're not talented at all. But that's not your case. Your case was like, you're almost there, but we're going with this person a bunch of times, you know, like.
I don't know. I just don't think I'm cut out for it. Also with music, like I think there's a lot of people out there that are giving it a lot more than I'm willing to give it. You know, I think you really do have to give it like 300% to compete with other people, unless you just get really lucky. And I don't know. I think
Paul's just
it's
getting
like,
more and more depressed.
no, I was just about to say, I think it's different for
300%. That's a mathematical impossibility.
Statistically impossible. No, I do think it's different for women in music than it is for.
Well, look,
for
I
men.
haven't made it yet either. So I mean, and like, I do feel like
you have more time.
I'm
than I
not
do.
giving it enough energy, you know, or I'm not, but you know.
Well, yeah. So wait. So tell like I always. So when I saw that you had what's his name? I'm spacing.
Cody
What's
Co.
his name? No. Big singer. Big
Post
boy.
Malone.
Post Malone. How did that go
boy.
down? Were you just like, dude, listen to my fucking music and I'm gonna videotape you? Like, how did you ask him?
No.
Shit?
So it was like, it was really cool.
He seems like a really cool guy.
He
He was
seem
really
like
cool.
that.
So
Seems very approachable in that kind of situation.
for
compared to
sure.
other people.
Basically,
Yeah.
Steve has been doing tattoos, and he's just been kind of like DMing with Post Malone or whatever. He had some kind of in with Post Malone, and they set it up that Steve was gonna give Post Malone a tattoo. So we got like rented an RV, and we all drove to Utah to meet up with Post Malone. And we're sort of filming this like pilot because Steve wants to do a show where he's giving celebrities tattoos. So this was also kind of like,
cool.
we'll kind of shoot it as like a pilot almost. So we filmed that. And yeah, Post Malone is crazy cool. I mean, just like so polite, like, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. Like, oh, hello, like, good to meet you. You know, like he's just so sweet and polite. It's like, and he's just chill. And like the people around him are like the friends he grew up with, you know? So it's like, it's just chill and cool, you know, like
He's a true blue dude.
he's a true blue dude. He's like, you're happy for him. You're like, good. Like I'm glad you're so much more successful than I am. Like, good for you.
Right,
You know?
right.
Like you
Why
don't,
were
you,
you out in Utah?
Good for you.
but that,
Why were you out in Utah?
well, that's where he
That's
lives.
where he
He
was.
lives in Utah.
Oh, is
Yeah.
he Mormon?
He
moved
got
to,
over Hollywood.
yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, he's really cool.
Yeah. He got over Hollywood. He's like, dude, in Hollywood, everyone's just fucking, he's just not built for fucking Hollywood. You know, it's like too
Yep.
much bullshit, you know?
That's
So,
my own.
It's a scene.
So we met up with them. We filmed the tattoo. Super cool. And then Steve was like, hey, dude, like, would you want to do a podcast while we're here too? We're here one more night. And he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, I'll do a podcast. So then the next night we met up again and we did that podcast with him. So, and that was cool too, because like we had hung out the day before, like there was already a little rapport, you know, like we all felt pretty
Yeah.
comfortable. So it ended up being a really cool chat and shit. And then, well, no, all right, it doesn't matter. Nobody watches our show anyway. So he's got this like bulletproof koozie the whole time that we're talking about. We're talking about this bulletproof koozie he's got, and we're like, a bullet, like what's even the point of that? He's like, oh, I don't know, you know, maybe it's like, it's just cool. And so we're like, well, have you tested it? Like, have you shot it? You know? And he's like, no, I guess I never shot it, but it's just cool. And then, you know, whatever, the podcast kind of ends and we're like, well, yeah, man, let's shoot that thing. Like, you got guns, don't you? And he's like, oh yeah, I got guns right here. And Steve's like, oh, like in your truck? And he's like, no, right here. And like, but he's like so safe with this gun. It was like, it made me feel so good. He's like, okay, we're going to be very safe with this. And so he pulls it. It's like in a zipped thing. He pulls it out. You know, he's like, the chamber's empty. He even shows everybody the chamber's empty. Like, we're very, and he's, you know, but whatever. But he's like, let's not shoot it here. You know, like this is kind of actually reckless. But let's go back to my place and, you know, we can like set up in my backyard. You know, he's got like a big yard and shit. So anyway, we go back to his place. We shoot this koozie, and then we're just hanging out. And his house is really cool. He's in the middle of moving because he just bought.
Wait, before you go on, how many shots did it take to actually hit that thing?
I think he hit
Great
it first
question.
shot.
Whoa.
I mean,
shit.
he wasn't super far, but he's a good shot.
Shooter.
He's a good shot.
Fast talker.
He had like a
Face-headed
rifle.
Man.
He had a rifle.
Damn.
he wasn't too far, but I mean, it was a good. We were like, wow, good shot. And I, of course, like, I'm
"Fuck, that's
filming, and
cool."
it's like as soon as he shoots, like the camera's like, "Whoa!" Like it like scared me, because I'm not around guns a lot. So
Okay, so before you go on now,
yeah,
the big question here, huge question, was it bulletproof?
yeah, it did. It survived. There was
shit.
one.
Made the cut.
We shot it a bunch of times. There was one shot, and like we had a full beer in it, so the full beer exploded. So we knew we had a direct hit, but yeah, like no penetration. There was one where he like clipped it like right at the edge, and that did go through. Like it's less strong at the way edge of it.
Right.
But anytime you hit it dead center, it was bulletproof.
So it was like Kevlar? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it's like a Kevlar koozie, I guess.
That's crazy. Okay, interesting.
Okay, back to your story.
Yeah,
So
back
then
to
in
the
his
story.
house, everything's kind of like disheveled because he's in the middle of moving, because he just bought like another house, but he's going to keep this house for his friends and just move to another house. So I don't know.
As you do.
And he's got like rich guy shit everywhere. There's like a samurai suit, like from, like an ancient thing. He has a 2,000-year-old dagger, a Roman dagger.
Wow,
That's
that's cool.
2,000 years old. And Steve, like, does like a fucking clown trick. He like balances it on his nose, and we're just like, oh my God. But he pulled it off.
Okay.
And it was awesome. And yeah, and he's got like a plaque for like billion streams on Spotify and whatever. It's just all this cool shit. And then we're just about to leave, and I was just like, hey dude, like I make music, and I'd be crazy not to show you something. Can I just show you a song or something? And he's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's play. And so that was it. And like Steve was like, oh, fuck
Wait,
yeah,
you
dude.
never told me it was as you were leaving.
Yeah, we were like
I'm
about to
noticing
leave.
a pattern.
It was
It's
kind of the
it's
like-
like
Like
3
out
in
the
the
door,
morning.
you
They
turn
just
around,
watched
you're like,
5
"Yeah."
episodes. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, exactly.
You could have asked me this a couple hours ago.
Yeah, we've been jamming out for
He's
2
like-
days.
Well,
like,
no, I didn't want to
That's so
encroach
funny.
on Steve's thing. Like we're filming for Steve. Steve brought me to Utah. Like I'm not friends with
Right.
Post Malone. Like I the only reason I'm here is because of Steve. Like, and so I didn't want to. But as soon as it was like we're gonna leave, it's like okay, clearly Steve is done with whatever he's trying to do. So felt like a good time to do my thing. And Steve was crazy supportive. He was like, oh fuck yeah. And then I played him like 3 songs off the new album.
That's
And he listened to the whole thing, or all 3 songs. He liked them. It's very complimentary. And like Steve filmed it. Like all that footage was Steve filming it on his phone or
Okay,
whatever.
so that's why it wasn't awkward.
That's like double cool.
Yeah, it
Like,
is.
You're playing your song for Post Malone with Steve-O's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steve-O's your cameraman.
if
Yeah.
only
That's
could break
so
the
cool.
4th wall on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So yeah. But he was like, is this out? And I was like, it's not out yet. And so that's what made me think like we should just put this thing out. Like
Yeah.
even because we kind of we have this like flawed mindset where like it needs to blow up when we put it out, so like we need to be ready. We need to have like all this chips and everything in place so that the release is big, but really like just put it out and like then promote it, then make it big. Like maybe it'll blow up in a year, but it's already been out, and that way if if it was out when I met Post Malone, maybe he would have been like, oh, I'll put it in my story, or I don't know, whatever.
Exactly.
Like I'll show it to 1 billion people like in a second. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so
Well, maybe
anyway, that was kind of
No
like
regrets. No regrets.
no regrets,
No regrets.
no regrets. But and I got the footage, and I've been milking the fuck out of that footage. So that's
Insert
good.
it here.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so that's how that whole thing went down. I don't know if I might edit out some of the gun stuff. So like we haven't
That's fine.
like as we're editing it for the pilot, we always leave out the gun stuff just because like we never got explicit approval that like that's okay to use, and we don't want to blow the guy's spot up. Like
Yeah, implicate him.
I don't
Dude,
know.
yeah,
Even though he was crazy safe, and I'm sure they're all legally owned guns, but anyway, that's how that
you
all
know,
went.
Yeah.
you
You don't
he's
wanna-
a gun guy.
That's a
there's-
weird.
Yeah,
It's not a great political climate to.
exactly.
Yeah, and
Yeah, we're
You don't want to
shooting
bring
at
down Post Malone. You don't
No.
want to be that
No.
guy.
But also,
No.
I mean, I'm just an asshole telling a story on a podcast that 30 people are going to watch, so maybe I'll leave it in.
This is the one that's going to blow.
Yeah, right. We go to sleep.
Controversial information.
Would that be so bad, though? Would that be so bad, Post Malone be like, hey, you're the guy. I'd be like, you remember me.
It's like we go.
He's like my nemesis.
Yeah.
We get locked up for insider trading, like all the koozie stock we've hoarded, It's just,
Yeah. That's so funny. But at least he'd probably have a really nice cellar he'd put us in. So that's good,
Yeah.
I'm sure he would. Yeah.
Full of Roman daggers.
Yeah, full of Roman daggers. We'd have to fight it out gladiator style down there.
It's so funny, like when you just think about those rich people things. It is very gaudy and you wouldn't want it. But every now and then you'll like be somewhere, you'll see something, or like, I don't know, there'll be like a Frank Lloyd Wright house up for sale, and you're like, if I was rich, like I would buy that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the Roman dagger is one of those things you'd be like, oh, if I was rich, I would want one.
Yeah, totally.
It's so cool.
But for him, it's just like, well, probably because he's moving, but it's just like sitting on a table. It wasn't like on ridiculous. A display or something. It was just like there. But I think it's because he was in the middle of moving.
It's like the difference between like most people's homes are filled with like necessities to live versus the luxury of like just having whatever you could possibly, like your 8-year-old self thinks is cool. That's what you get when you're rich.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and
I wonder where he even found that thing.
I don't know.
You know what I mean?
What's the one thing, like the one stupid thing you would buy if you were just so loaded, like if you just won the lottery?
Great question. I know your answer. Easy. Sauna would be like the first thing you'd have, but I mean,
the sauna.
Well, yeah, but I'm gonna buy a sauna. I'm gonna buy a sauna like next month.
Okay,
like,
so
I don't
maybe
need to be.
that's too easy.
Stupid rich would be like
they're not that expensive.
A pirate ship or something.
You do want a
stupid
pirate
rich
ship.
would be like a whole house, but the whole house is a sauna.
Yeah, I would get a pirate ship with a sauna.
Rooms.
I'm going to the sauna house.
I'd recreate the Wii Spa. I'd recreate the Wii Spa on my pirate ship.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
but yeah, I feel like that. Like other than like a just crazy cool house, I feel like that's the big. Just a crazy cool house is kind of really what I want.
You talked about like heated floors the other day, and I thought that was a great.
But
great
it would
idea.
be heated by the fireplace. I had this cool idea actually. Speaking of industrial engineering, so you get a fireplace, right? But like it's like in a metal kind of thing.
Yep, fireplace. Yep,
fireplace. We know what that is. Yeah. And
familiar with the concept.
Connected, because metal conducts heat, and so spining like off of that fireplace are these metal rods that go into the floor, and so when the fireplace is really cooking and that thing really heats up, it eventually heats up the floor, because like I get my fire hot, but you got to stand kind of close to it to really feel the heat, but you kind of want that to like heat up the whole house. So.
Well, they have that
like a convection oven.
Like a convection, maybe. I don't know what a convection is.
Well, they have that for hot tubs, like wood burning hot tubs, and it essentially looks like like if you're making alcohol, what is it called? What's that process called?
Oh my god, distilled. Like
distilling, distilling So you could probably just do something similar to that.
Just distill yourself.
Just distill it through those concrete floors, baby. We're talking concrete floors, though, right?
Okay, I thought of something.
But yeah, I totally bogarted that question. What are your guys' big purchases?
Did you guys ever see the movie Blank Check growing up?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
The slide to the pool from the house, I think, is an important part in my little kid fantasy. And there used to be on like this random suburb, I would always pass this house on the way to like some of my soccer games, and they had it. They had the slide out of the house, and I was like, it was a totally unassuming neighborhood, nothing particularly fancy about it, but like they knew what was
the fucking slide.
They went in with the
it's funny. I guess it wouldn't be that expensive either to
it
do.
Wouldn't.
It's like a tube of plastic and like a hose, just a water source at the top. That's all you need.
You have to shut it off. You can't have like raccoons walking up the slide to come into your bedroom.
Why not?
Yeah, but that's not expensive either. And they're not going to like be able to get up there.
They're creative.
What are your guys' big purchases? You win the lottery.
Oh my God. Honestly, over this last year, we kind of realized that we want to like make everything a lot small. Like our home is too big, right? And it's not big at all.
It's not really that big.
1,200 square feet.
Yeah, but it's so much space. Like I feel like I'm constantly cleaning.
So it won't be anything about like space. Well,
Yeah.
we've talked about
You could
this.
afford a cleaning
I like really
service.
quality. That's exactly
Yes.
what I would want.
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
when it comes-
She talks
I
about
love
that.
that.
Although
If I was rich,
I do like find it therapeutic to clean as well, but
a
Well,
lake.
you can always
I want
choose
a
to
fucking lake.
clean.
we want to own the lake. Just one whole.
I do. I
I
want
want to own
nice.
a great lake. One
Yeah.
great
Oh,
lake.
yeah, like Superior maybe or something.
Yeah. Just the whole thing.
We bought Lake
whole-
Superior.
I want a great lake when I become rich. Okay?
One of the greats.
One of the greats.
You pick.
Yeah, I don't know what I would want. I think I'd just want like a really cool loft apartment in like multiple cities.
Yeah.
That I like.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like
Like
little
I'm not a big-
hideaways,
Okay, but
little
these are,
getaways.
I think
Yeah.
this is too reasonable. This is too practical. Let's get
Okay,
to like
you're right.
the
Let's get to some blank check shit.
Yeah, you know,
Okay.
like
Yeah,
more
yeah, yeah.
ridiculous.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
You should be. You should
It was
be.
like the most logical. No, it's
no,
a
but you
beautiful
are.
choice.
No, but
I
you're
agree.
right. These are practical answers. Well, I did say pirate ship with a sauna with the Wii Spa recreated on it.
See,
well, you
yeah.
guys know what I would purchase if I was really wealthy, right?
A cellar.
Besides the lake.
I would buy the Cellar.
Oh,
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
Filled with rare.
No, I mean a great
Bottle.
lake. That's
Jesus.
pretty good. That's not practical.
Yeah, there
Yeah, that's
was
good.
that.
That's far.
you know.
That's far
Jill's being
fetched.
too practical. That's what you mean.
I'm sorry.
And I'm beating a dead horse.
And you're beating that horse head for a long.
That horse is
That horse
pulverized
is
That
right now.
horse-
composing
yeah.
rapidly.
Can you add a sound
Just
effect for
leave
this,
that
please? And it's the end of the joke. It's finally the end.
Please stop talking about the cellar. Standing ovation.
That was I got lucky with that. I didn't know what you never know what you're gonna get when you don't
Oh
label
yeah,
your
that's
buttons.
fun. Yeah, that's fun. No, a sick music studio would be awesome. Like a really like professionally, you know.
Yeah, I'd love like a commercial kitchen.
Yeah.
Filled, you know,
Oh.
like really nice ovens and stoves. And
Multiple
Just
sinks.
huge. So much.
Yeah.
Gordon
room.
Ramsay.
so many things.
Gordon Ramsay
A whole
always.
walk-in fridge, you know.
Yeah.
With Gordon Ramsay.
The pantry
Gordon
with
Ra-
like
Gordon
only
Ramsay.
glass jars that are all labeled pristinely.
Yes.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and like
I
a
hear
cool,
that.
like a not just a wood workshop, but like a laboratory. You know, like Dexter's Lab kind of shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Oh,
where you can
Dexter's
make
Lab,
like
yeah.
robots that, like, you know, like Mech Warrior kind of shit. You know, I was a dumb kid, and one time, this like on my Christmas list, I wrote, I want a secret lab. That's what I asked for.
They used to make like spy gear. Did you guys have
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
I
stuff?
probably got like
I
some,
had like
some
motion
low-grade
detectors
spy
and
gear.
stuff.
Yeah, they
Did
did have
too.
that.
Holy shit!
Oh
It's like
my
we lived in the
God.
same era.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Oh, can we swear on this show?
Yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
I guess
Yeah, you can-
Demonetized.
You can swear. We're actually not even monetized. We haven't signed up for it yet. So we can say whatever the fuck we want. What are they gonna do?
Oh.
They can't even touch us.
Wait, how many followers do you need to have before you can monetize these days?
I don't know. Maybe we're eligible to monetize. I
It's the
I
first
doubt
time
it
I've
actually.
actually even heard this term.
You know, there's AdSense like where you get paid per view.
Yeah. But
So that would
we're
mean
not there.
We're I never even tried, but
we're not quite
we're
there.
probably not there. I don't know what the requirements are, but we have 99 subscribers. If you're
Oh.
still listening
Subscribe.
and you haven't subscribed,
Smash that button.
Nice.
smash that, ring the
button.
bell.
Smash
Ring
that
the
like
bell.
button.
And if you guys are really in the mood, hit the like button. Come on, just fucking do it.
Don't you think we've earned it?
If you
Come on.
made it an hour and a half into this show on just a bunch of nothing, then smash that like button for me.
Don't just hit it.
No.
Smash it.
Smash it.
Why
Yeah.
tap when you could smash?
JC would always say, touch the like button.
Touch it.
Just touch
I like
it.
that.
Just touch it.
Just touch it. Just touch
Be
it.
sure to touch the like button. And,
That's good. That's sweet.
oh, man.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know how long you guys go on these shows. Do you usually go about an hour and a half?
Yeah, we usually go about this.
Are you sick of us?
Yeah.
You
We're
ready?
about-
You
we're
ready?
about
No,
there.
no. I'm worried that we're you're sick of us.
Are we talking your ear off? yet?
No. We're not sick of you guys. But I was going to start to kind of
Wrap it up
a little bit.
My last question for you guys is: I'm curious about this podcast, and where do you see it going? Where do you see you guys in
Your
5 years?
aspirations for
Well,
the podcast.
I'll be happy if it doesn't like implode any of my jobs in the immediate future. Like that's what I'll be happy about. You know, I just got like emailed out my, staff handbook the other day, and it's like, there's people don't really love you to talk about your opinions about anything in social media, right? Because it kind of can be associated with a company. So that would be a victory. And then less cynical than that. Let's see. It would be cool to get paid.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah.
At some point.
I feel like, and this is how I felt when we started this. Like, I knew, this is not going to blow up immediately, but I really think in 10 years we'll be saying, "I'm glad we started this 10 years ago because now it's like pays our rent or does something." Like now it's what it is. So I just feel like we're on the super long road here, and we're having a lot of fun with it. Like, catch up with you guys. I haven't talked to you in fucking years. It's insane, which is crazy.
I'm really excited.
It is crazy,
and it's like weird that it takes this to do, but whatever. It's fucking awesome. And then like you kind of pry into your friends a little bit too. Like this is a conversation like we've never had. So I love it. But yeah, I think it'll be big, honestly. I think it'll be kind of just like a big podcast and something that we can just kind of like, it'll be part of our ecosystem of what we're doing. It's it's like, but no, I was thinking like it's like a core. It's like the core of everything we do. Like her selling her crafts, me making music. We also make music together. I got to send you some of that. Oh. It's great. Christine's a singer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shit.
You
need to send that music over. Oh, shit.
Ditty for us,
oh, wait, that's the wrong one.
Come on, get that air horn.
I don't have an air horn. Yeah, I need an air horn.
You don't have a fucking air horn on that thing?
No.
Jesus, what are we... Oh, my God. Okay.
I could download them.
Yeah, send some music.
But anyway, I feel like this is just like kind of the hub. And then eventually... we'll have this big house with a pirate ship docked at the shore,
The heated floors.
And
no more bosses to worry about.
And no more bosses and nothing like that.
No more staff handbooks to pretend I've read.
And our life will just be like hanging out with friends all the time and making music. And and it'll just be like, and once a week we'll all sit down and talk about the fact that we have no more problems. Yeah.
Just not one.
Not even not a one.
The whole world doesn't even have one.
Yeah, well, if you don't, they don't.
Yeah, play with our ancient Greek swords that were.
Yeah, exactly. Like we'll put on like these samurai suits from 5,000 years ago.
Yeah, they're super expensive, but we buy a new one every time we have a samurai
and then
fight.
We do like a Thanksgiving touch football game, and we all wear these samurai gear.
That's right. Yeah, sick. That sounds sick.
And it'll all be thanks to the Elk Lodge podcast.
Right. We'll slide down that slide on our samurai suits into the pool. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And do cool moves.
They're not supposed to get wet, so we're burning through the collection, but it's worth it.
Yes. And it's a very limited collection. There's only so many. They're endangered, and we're not helping. But yeah, and like, I mean, this is maybe like a little egotistical or whatever, but I also see it as like, when it gets that big, it's good for like kind of everybody, Like if dude has a new album, like come here, like, it's like a way to kind of
promote,
like, high water raises all ships or whatever the fuck they say.
All the pirate ships go up.
All the pirate ships will go up. So anyway, I'm not saying like I'm the one. I'm gonna be the one, but I'll be one of the ones, and like we'll all fucking just continue to kick ass over time. But anyway, I'm a big believer in this podcast.
Nice.
Shockingly, he's
stuff.
a full believer.
I'm very optimistic.
Yeah, I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I have this blind optimism.
It seems like a lot of big YouTubers, it took them about 10 years to get things to a nice cushy spot.
Yeah.
And honestly, even before that, quarter way through, a lot of YouTubers, well, as you know, you've done plenty of YouTube for everyone, but they got a bunch of sponsors. They're able to promote other people's work and good causes. And so, it's a great start. It's cool.
I really admire that you guys we're just like, all right, let's just start.
Yeah.
Like, let's just do it. I think that we tend to like overthink everything and think so much about like optimizing our time. And yet we waste a lot of time, like everybody,
Right.
So I think it's a good example of just like, if you're into something or you're passionate about something or you just want to start something, just do it.
Yeah. The best way to begin.
Get it out
is
there.
To start. Yeah.
So
it's the only way.
Love you guys.
Velcro those cabinets and hit the road. You gotta just start.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly.
Start your engines and look behind and make sure nothing's falling off. Falling out of the cabinets.
Literally. Yep.
That's
exactly it.
Yeah. But yeah, I miss you guys a lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
miss
we
you
miss
too.
you.
You know,
Maybe we'll come swing by Cali in our van and we can park out front.
that'd be cool. Or maybe we meet halfway. We'll meet in Tucson or something, or
Oh,
somewhere
that'd be
else.
cool.
You know,
Oh, let's do that.
That would be
You
a lot
know, like-
easier.
that'd
That
be
would
easier.
be a lot
Yeah. Or somewhere else. You know, like I'll be in Austin for a wedding in December, but I think I probably won't have time to meet. You know, I'll be
Yeah.
there just for the wedding. So, but
Yeah.
Right.
but you'll
Well, if you
know
need a
I'm
place to
close.
stay, you could stay with us.
Oh yeah, dude. If you need a place to stay, we got
Yeah.
lots of room.
We got too much
So-
room.
Yeah.
We
We got too much room.
got a cellar.
Too much.
I'll have to dust it all before you get.
I'll start cleaning now.
Start cleaning now. When you finish cleaning, you start cleaning again.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
how,
yeah,
that's how it
exactly.
works, you know,
Just
it's like the
never
Golden
ending.
Gate Bridge, right? Like when they finish painting it, they just
They start
painting
over.
it again.
Oh.
It's funny.
That's a
Yeah.
highbrow joke.
That's cleaning.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hi, Brown.
I went to college.
But anyway,
All right.
I love you both very much. I miss
Love
you
you
guys
too.
in my
Love you
life.
too.
I miss you too. Let's meet up soon.
I'll
We
send
can,
you some of the music that
yes.
we've been
Yes,
making.
please send the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
And,
And
link
if-
it down below. Everyone else, you look down below.
Link down below.
Look down there.
Link down below. And if you're in the mood, fucking murder that like button, please. Christina, it was a real pleasure to meet
Yeah,
you.
back at
Yeah, I'm glad you guys all got to
Um,
meet.
So
hopefully
great.
we can spend some time together, you know, and that's
Cheers
it.
to that. That sounds good.
Cheers.
Paul, can you just do one outro sound effect for us?
The front,
Just pick
but
one.
the like. Ding, ding, ding.
Oh yeah, there's like a
Is there like a theme?
song in
Yeah.
here.
Why do you get so quiet?
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is
So
our
nice to see
show. Thank
everybody.
you so much for tuning in. This has been the Elk Lodge podcast. Good night, everybody. We love you. You're beautiful. Mwah.
Mwah.